This conference will now be recorded.
Thank you for all. Thank you all. Let's start today's session. Today we are going to discuss these topics. So, so today we are discussing overview of demo section that we discussed last Saturday, and what is server, and later we can discuss what is the on-premises server and cloud-based server, and we can see later what is the difference between cloud and on-premises server, and later we can provision Windows machine also in AWS environment. Okay, so demo section, I think most of them, I think all of them already joined that last section, and also we shared that demo link. And if you have any queries, let me know that, and I will give just overview of what we discussed on the last section, then we can move with today topics. Just 5 to 10 minutes only. I will just discuss these things, then we can move with the today topics. Okay, so in the last section, in the demo section, we discussed these topics: what is SDLC, and what and why is DevOps, and DevOps overall tools, and then, and also we discussed what we are going to discuss in all our training plan. And also we discussed that what are the career opportunities in DevOps. Okay, so coming to SDLC is SDLC means the software development life cycle. So software development life cycle. So here we can see so many phases. Suppose if you get any project, if you get any project, you have to follow this all these phases. Okay, so first is planning about project and analysis and design and implementation and testing and integration and maintenance. So these are all the phases in SDLC. So whenever you get a new project, so you have to, you have to follow these SDLC phases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 phases are there. The first phase is planning and analysis and design and implementation and testing and integration, and 6 maintenance. Okay, so in all these phases, where DevOps going to involve here. DevOps is going to involve in mostly in fourth and fifth and sixth phases only. Fourth, fifth, and sixth phases only SDLC is going to involve. DevOps is going to involve. Our role is in fourth and fifth and sixth phase only. Okay, so we have so many SDLC phases. We have, uh, I think, 5 or 6 SDLC phases. We have waterfall, incremental model, and some other models also there. But most the waterfall, incremental, these two are very old SDLC methodologies. But right now, all 99%, most of them are using Agile methodology only. Okay, so DevOps is also fit for only Agile methodology, but overall concept is SDLC has 6 phases, and in SDLC we have almost 5 or 6 SDLC methodologies are there. But initially they started with waterfall model and increment model. Those are all very old one, so no one is most of them is not using those SDLC methodologies. Now everyone is moving to Agile methodology. So Agile is very useful methodology, and also DevOps is fit for only Agile methodology. Okay, so the next topic is DevOps components. So in the DevOps components, these are all the DevOps components, and left side is we have a plan and test and code and build. So this is the way, what we can say, the 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 way will start from plan, test, code, and build. And another side, this is the dev side and development side, and another side is operation side. Operation side has release, operate, deploy, and monitor. Okay, if you observe in development side, the plan, the stages, whatever the stages are there, right? Plan, test, code, and build. The phases will start from plan to end with build. In the same way, operation team side, the 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 phase will start from release and end with monitor. Okay, so here coming to the development side, when you get a new project, you just plan it, and as per the SDLC methodology, we can do whatever the phases we can do. Later, those phases, what are the phases? As I mentioned, right? We are mostly involved in fifth and fourth and fifth and sixth phases, right? So all these phases, all these in the DevOps component, all these components mostly in common fourth and fifth, fourth, fifth, and sixth stages only. Okay, so plan before these these are all the development operations. These are all the development phases. Left side, all these are development phases, and operation side, these are all the phases. Okay, so we can discuss how we can do test and how we can build our project. Later we can discuss and we will get more idea about it. But as of now, just think about, just remember that all these phases will come under in the left side, whatever it is there, right? All it will come in development side. Whatever right side is there, right? All these will come in operation side. So let's move to another topic. uh, what and why is DevOps? So so dev and ops is not a, these terms are new, but uh, the whatever process is not a new process, is it's already exist. Okay, this is not a completely new. This dev and ops means is terminologies, may it is a new, but process is just process is not a new, that is a old one only. But DevOps is a just it will come in it will come. I mean, DevOps is automation tools are new. All tools are coming for automation the things. But what these guys doing? So these DevOps guys, what they are doing? So they are just sitting between development and operation team, between development and operations, between the DevOps guy is sitting between development and operations team, and he's sitting and he's trying wherever gap is there, right? He's trying to go there, and he's doing some automation. Okay, and DevOps with Agile. So this is the third step is DevOps with Agile. So Agile, as I mentioned, right? Agile methodology is very uh, Agile methodology is fit to DevOps. Okay, and we can discuss about that one also. Okay, so later when we moved into completely in all the tools, then we get more idea about this Agile methodology also. And also this DevOps is also reducing development time. So how it can reduce is based on, we have here CI/CD processes there. Using that, uh, we can we can reduce our development time using CI/CD process. I mean, in the DevOps process, it's not it includes a lot of automation, like continuous integration automation, continuation delivery, continuation testing, continuous monitoring. So these all are included as part of DevOps automation. Okay, so and even DevOps is also reducing the infrastructure cost also, so that we can discuss later. I mean, these Docker, I mean, containerization tools are there, right? When it comes to you get to know how it can reduce the infrastructure cost. And the third one is DevOps tool, overall tools, what tools we have in market. We even in this URL we mentioned that all those tools, what tools we required. uh, it's not a one or two tools in DevOps, so we have so many tools we have. uh, Most of them we covered in this URL, what tools we have in that. And in the fourth, this is in this slide we are just trying to explain what DevOps tools we are going to explain. So in earlier here we have so many DevOps tools we have. So suppose if you are developing Java applications, so we have a so many uh, so many tools we have, but there is a, I mean, limited, even if you go with Python or Golang or some other languages, you have a separated tools we have, but we can't use all the tools in in every application. For example, I have a Java application, I can use few of the tools, like for build tool I can use either Gradle or Ant or Maven. So these tools I can use for build tool. But when it comes to the .NET application, so the build tools are may build tools may different, and Python or Golang. So build tools may different, right? So in the same, even for CI tool we can use in Java. In the Java application we can use Jenkins we can use it, right? In, in the same way in the .NET applications, so we can use some Bombay. We can use some other CA tools also we can use, right? So so that's why I'm just we are just try to explain that we almost we covered all the tools in this URL, in the DevOps, in this URL, what tools we have in the market. And in this slide we just try to explain that what tools we are going to explain in our training. So mostly we are just trying to explain that only Java based applications only. It's not .NET or Python or Golang applications. Okay, so mostly we in this training session we just you can learn that what you are going. Suppose if you have a Java based application, end to end we can understand what in this training session. Okay, so all the Java related tools only we are going to explain in this training session. So you will get end to end idea about all these DevOps tools in Java applications. And so in this DevOps career opportunities, I think she already shared all his comments on this. And yeah, almost these we already discussed that, and we already shared that even demo link also. You can just once you can just review that, and you can just check that, and you can, if you have any queries, let me know that I can answer on it. Okay, so let's move to today topic. So today somewhat we just go with some practical knowledge before, just not practical knowledge, just try to understand that. So what is this server, and what is on premises, and why people are moving to cloud, and how we can create one Windows machine in AWS. So we can see all these topics today. 1 second. Yeah, this one only. So the first topic is already completed. I just give an overview of that demo section, and let's move to what is server and what is on-premises server, what is cloud-based server, and difference between cloud and on-prem server, and we can provision one Windows machine in AWS also. Okay, so let's move to what is server. So suppose if you are in IT industry, so you may know about this, what is server. But if you are completely new about it, and if you are come from non-IT branches, but you are new, right, what is a server, even some people are not aware about what is a server. The server is just, it is just computer. It's not nothing different here. Okay, server is just a computer that provides data to others computers. A server is a computer that provides data to others computer. So the data will transfer either from LAN or WAN. LAN means suppose I have a 10 servers here in this my organization. In my here I have only 10 laptops I have. So I want to connect each other. So what I can do, I can use LAN network, then I can connect each other. suppose I have a suppose I have here I have a 10 servers. I want to connect this mission from some other places. Suppose I'm right now I'm in Hyderabad. Suppose I want to connect from US. Same system if I want to access that. So what I can do, I need to use some use WAN network. Okay. So in this way, so what server is just it is a computer only, nothing different. But what use of these servers? So we can access it you can access it anywhere, you can access it anywhere. But server has what server has a resources like CPU, memory, hard disk, and network. Okay, these four components is very important in server has four components: CPU, memory, hard disk, and network. So so the final goal is, suppose if you have a server, what is use of the server? So you need to you can transfer the data from one server to another server, and you can access it from within the network or within the LAN network, or if you want to access the same data, whatever data I have in this my laptop, I want access to some other location. So then we can use WAN network, so that we can connect and we can get the information, or we can retrieve or get or store all these things. These all these operations we can do it. Try to understand that the server is just, it is not something different. Server is just a computer. In this computer, in the server is a computer, nothing different here. Just what it can do, it just providing the data from one server to another server. So we can access it from within the network, within the LAN or within the WAN. We can access that server. Okay, so let's move to other topic. So this is very important. That's why I'm just trying to explain. If you're non-IT background, so just try to understand that. So if you have this if you have a data somewhere, you need to access that, right? Data means, suppose in this my laptop I have a data. The data is related to some e-commerce based application. Suppose I developed one application in my laptop. Okay, so I want to access that for some end user. Suppose a user wants to access that application. How he can access it? I'm in India. The end user in US. How he can access it? He can access through all these networks concept only. Either WAN or some networks, some security things. It will come into the picture. All it come in servers concept only. Okay. So using that only, the end user can access that application. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. On premises server. So servers, servers we can say data centers also, we can treat as a, think about large server means, in this is my, I have only one laptop. So then I can say I have only one laptop. So suppose in coming to the large infrastructure, large companies. So if you think about it, so we may have so many laptops, right? So then we have to maintain some data centers, right? So data centers data centers topic is different. I'm just trying to include all those things so that you can get some idea about these things. So on premises server means, suppose I'm a owner of this one of the company. So I'm a owner of the one of the company. I want to develop one of the application. So I got one project from one of the company. Suppose, for example, I got one of the project from Axis Bank or some other bank. So I want to develop my application. So I want to develop that project. So how I can do that? So we need some infrastructure, right? So that infrastructure, where we can maintain that, the data, whatever the data, right? Data is means CPU, memory, hard disk, all those things we require, right? That infrastructure is required to develop our project, right? So to do that, we have a two methods. One is on-premises server. As I discussed, say a server, you got some idea about server concept, right? Now it comes to, now we are going to discuss what is the on-premises server and cloud server? So on-premises server means, so I'm a owner of this one of the company. I can manage I can manage own infrastructure instead of depending on others. I can manage earlier. Now is just I think I don't remember when it was introduced all this cloud service, but almost 6, 7 or 8 years back, and I don't remember. But the thing is, the thing is, um, the thing is earlier is everyone has to maintain own infrastructure only. That means it, everyone has own physical data centers. Okay, so if you have a physical data center, you have to maintain your own own infrastructure. Okay, so so individually you have to the company must manage and maintain individually. Okay, so when it comes to the cloud, the next slide is, this is on-premises server means, so this is a physical server the company needs to maintain or manage individually. This is called on-premises server. And cloud-based server means, cloud-based server is a virtual server. So virtual server means, as you know, that people's what we need to understand here, cloud-based server means the third-party peoples. Don't think third-party peoples are maintaining the infrastructure. Okay, data centers or infrastructure. Third-party people, third-party people are maintaining the data centers. So what we are doing, we are just using the infrastructure. We are just paying the money and we are using that. Okay, so third party peoples are maintaining the data centers, so we are just paying the money and using it. So these things we can call as a cloud based service. So cloud based service, so nowadays these peoples are moving to cloud based service because the reasons are some reasons are there. We can discuss later about it, but just try to understand what is a cloud based and on-premise. Most of them still some on-prem service are using banking related application, banking related things. Most of them are not moved into cloud base. So this still they are thinking some different way. But even now, just trying to even that is very expensive, right? So if you are going with on-premises server, so you have to maintain own data centers. So then you have to spend more money on it, right? That is a very difficult, right? So that's the peoples are moving, but even we can see some differences between this cloud and on-premises server. Okay, so these are all the differences. So suppose I have as I mentioned that, right? So as I mentioned, on-premises server and cloud-based server, sorry, cloud servers. So two servers are there. So I'm new to this IT industry. I'm not new. I'm just worrying about which one I need to take, on-premises or cloud. Which one I need to go? Suppose uh, I'm starting a new company, so I have a very limited, I mean I have a very small number of people, the small number of employees. Suppose if I have 10, if I think about hire only 10 to 15 people, so which one is better, on premises or cloud server? Which one I need to select it? So many people are thinking still which one is which we need to go. But right, the thing is, so if it is small, so my answer is cloud only. So cloud is very useful. For example, I will give one scenario here. So now I have a today banking application is there. Even if you take any application, not banking application or e-commerce application or any application. So I have application today just I just need only some much suppose I have only 10 CPU and 20 or suppose 500 GB memory. So you have a you have 500 GB memory and hard disk, but it's not a large. It is if you need, if it is a small application, you just need only small resources, right? Very limited resources you need. So if you go with cloud, today I just need only 10 GB memory. Okay, so I can, tomorrow I want 100 GB memory, but frequently I don't want 100 GB memory. So if really I want 100 GB memory, if you go with on-premises server, so you have to maintain 100 GB memory hard disk, right? I mean 100 GB memories you have to, you have to buy 100 GB memory or related, whatever related resources. So all these things, high 100 GB memory or 10 CPUs or whatever, the highest of that infrastructure you have to buy, and you have to use it. But if you come with cloud servers, virtual servers, whatever. So cloud servers, what is use of these cloud servers? Today I just need only 100. If today I just need only 10, tomorrow I want 100 GB memory. So today, day after tomorrow, I just need only 10. But if you go with on-premises, I have to buy with 100 GB memory. I need to buy and I need to use it. But it's not a same. It's very high cost, I think, compared with cloud. Cloud, what I can do today, only I need only 10 GB memory. Just I can pay money for. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I think some network issues there. Sorry for it. Let's move to. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. 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 Thank you. So we are just discussing that what are the differences between cloud and on-premises server. So we just need to compare that what are the features we have in cloud and on-premises servers, so that so we can move with as per your requirement. So when you go with on-premises servers or cloud-based servers, we just measurize all these concepts. What is the cost and security and scalability and reliability. So if it is a small based application, even large based applications also. So so based on as much as you today I just use only 10 GB. So that much memory, we just use only 10 GB memory. We can pay money for only 10 GB memory. If you go with cloud based, tomorrow I just need only 100 GB, so I can just pay money for only 100 GB. It's not, so how much you can use, that only you are going to pay money for it in cloud. But it's in the on-prem server, it's not like that. So you have to pay, you have to buy 100 GB memory, and even if you don't require it day after tomorrow, so you can so anyhow you paid money, so anyhow you use it. Even if you have if you have a usage or not, so you already buy it, so you can't revert it, right? So these are all the features we have when you discuss in the cost component. And security, so security thing is security on premises. Yeah, security in cloud servers. In cloud servers, security is managing by the third party peoples only. It's third party peoples means suppose as in the cloud servers are providing so many people, as I mentioned earlier, AWS, Google Cloud, Azure, and I think four or five cloud services are there, right? So these people are maintaining that. If you go with cloud services, so if you go with cloud services, security is managing by the third party people's own. That is not a secure, right? Even people are thinking about it. If you go with on-premises server, so you can manage it your own security, right? So if you go with AWS or some they are maintaining the security. So that's why still some banking applications are not moved to cloud, because it's very the end user can think that is not a secure, how you can use all these cloud services. So that's why, but still there is an option to use AWS also. Later we can discuss. And scalability, yeah, we can use on premises. And scalability, earlier there is no scalability. Now when it comes to this containers concept, now we can see scalability in both servers, cloud servers and on-prem servers. We can see in both servers. Okay, and reliability also we can see. Okay, mostly cost is very important, right? We have to use time efficiently and
Hello, hello. Hi, Venkat. I cannot hear anything.
Yes, I think he
Hmm.
lost the.
Hello,
Hello,
hello.
Venkat, your voice is too low. Sometimes you are not hearing.
Oh,
So,
okay.
network fluctuations from your end.
Yeah, that's what I think seems is network issue there today. I think just now only some, right?
Uh,
Are you,
yeah, I
are you
can
facing
hear you,
same issue? Are you
but
facing same? No. My question is, are you facing this issue since started class or just now only?
It is just now
just
only. Just
Yeah,
three,
that's what I think.
4 minutes.
Power cut here, so that is the reason. I just connected from mobile just 2 minutes back. I just tried connected from mobile. That's the reason. But I think now it is fine, right? Somewhat better, right?
yeah, somewhat better.
Okay. Okay, I will keep checking that. Okay, so, that's what. So based on our keep on mute, please keep on mute. Okay, so coming to this slide. So as I mentioned, right, as per our requirement, we can go with on-premises and cloud-based servers. Okay, so but people are moving to cloud server. The reason behind what is the reason is um, as I mentioned, I think yeah. So what I'm saying now. So even if they are thinking even now banking applications also moving to cloud. The reason is if they are thinking if they are thinking security is there, security related things they are still or in on-premises server only. There is no security. If they are thinking there is no any security, then they are moving to cloud. Even suppose if you think about one banking application, all are not secure, right? Only few things only secure or related to transaction, but other things we can put it in cloud, right? So that's why even still some peoples are moving to banking applications also moving to cloud. Okay, that we can call as a hybrid. Okay, hybrid servers we can we can think that we can call as a hybrid servers. Hybrid means both we can use. If you are using cloud and on premises, we can call as a hybrid servers. Okay, so then the next topic is provision. We can just provision that Windows machine, and later if you have any so if you have any queries till now, is on what is the server and on-premises server and cloud and differences. So any queries? No, right? Okay, so as I mentioned, right, so we have so many cloud services like AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, and some other cloud services also we. But as far as I'm just going,
We are getting echo.
begin.
So we lost your. Hello. Hello. Now we can't hear you. Sometimes we are getting echo.
AWS only we are going to discuss. Okay. Hello. Is it?
Your voice is breaking, Venkat.
No, Venkat,
Sometimes we
your
are
voice
getting
is not clear. We are
echo.
unable to hear.
We lost your voice. Again, we lost your voice. Can't hear you.
Just is it fine now?
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's fine.
Network issue. I think the reason is I just connected through mobiles, so that is the reason. Just here power cut is, so that is just I'm thinking how to overcome this. And so it is fine right now, right? So I will just try to complete this topic, then we can close this, and tomorrow we can connect it. Are you fine right now? Hello.
Yeah,
Is
now
it
it's
fine
fine,
now?
Venkat.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm just trying to explain, that we have so many cloud providers like AWS, Google Cloud, or Azure, or some other cloud services are there. But
Oracle.
thing
Is
is,
DevOps is possible on Oracle Cloud? Venkat?
sorry,
Okay. This DevOps
hello,
operation. Hello. This DevOps is
voice is
possible on Oracle Cloud?
no, I'm not able to hear. Sorry. Can you share your question
Yeah.
on chat box so that I can answer you?
DevOps. Yeah, sure. I'll do that.
Okay, so what I am trying to explain, that meanwhile I can just paste it your question on chat box. I will answer on that. So now I'm just trying to explain that we have so many cloud services, cloud providers. So but as part of our training, we are just going to discuss only yeah, everywhere yeah, the Oracle also it may possible, but there anywhere wherever servers we have, we can use this all these DevOps tools. Okay, it's not specific to one service. Okay, one provider.
Okay. Understood.
Okay, 1 second. Right now I am just connecting back to Wi-Fi. 1 minute. So is it fine now? I think now everything is fine now. So it's because I just connected back to my Wi-Fi. Okay, seems everything is fine. So let's move to this AWS concept. So the thing is, first we need to even suppose you are new to this DevOps or AWS or any cloud service, even Azure and even AWS or Google Cloud. I'm not sure. So you can use it. I mean, you can just register that. You can register in this AWS or Azure or somewhere. So you can practice it. Okay, but there is a limit is there. So if you reach that limit, so you have to pay the money for it. So be careful that even I will guide you which we can't use, so that you won't pay money for it. Okay, so the first thing is, so suppose if you want to use this AWS, you have to create an account. So to create an account, I will share using this URL. I don't want to show this. This is very easy. That is not much difficult to create an account in AWS environment. So I will share this URL. So I think if you know that, that's great. If you are not aware about how to create this, just use this URL and you can create even own your account. I'm just sharing this. Okay, so I pasted it. So if anyone has account, that is, if no, suppose for example here, uh, one second. Okay, so if suppose if you have an account, that is fine, that is great. If you don't have account, then using that URL you can create it, and let me know if you have any facing issues, so that I can help you on that part also. Okay, so to create that account, you need debit or credit card. So just initially, I think they can charge I think 2 rupees, 1 or 2 rupees they can charge it. I think 2 rupees only they can charge it, and that amount also I think we can get back. Okay, so but while using this AWS account or AWS as anything, so just be careful. So if you are using without knowledge, then you have to pay money for it. Okay, be careful it. So I will show you too, even while creating this, I mean while using these resources, I can show you which one you don't have to use it. So here, root user, and I'm just connecting to AWS account. Okay, so here here we have so many services we have. Okay, so even in AWS, so in AWS also, as part of DevOps guy, we don't need to learn all those things. For AWS, suppose if you are coming to completely AWS developer or AWS some other designation, then you have to learn all those things. But as part of DevOps guy, you have to learn only few of the services uh, that I will explain. That something like for compute. In this compute, under compute, we have to learn at least EC2 and some EC2 is fine. As part of DevOps guy, you have to learn this EC2 and S3 in storage side you have to learn S3 service, and database side you have to learn at least one or two RDS, and DynamoDB, if you know that, that is great. And VPC is also very important concept. VPC and Route 53 and CloudFront, and I think this. So some, I mean, monitoring purpose also you have to use CloudWatch something, and notification purpose you have to use any SMS or this. So that one you have to use, and so these, see, if you see, these are all the machine learning services, so we don't need to involve these things. Okay, so even for a pure blockchain, so we don't require, right? Just we need only few of the things, only 10, I think 10, 7, 8 to 10 services you have to learn as part of DevOps person. So right now I'm just trying to explain only EC2 mission. So what is EC2 and how we can create a Windows mission, that we can try to explain it. Okay, so this is the EC2 means elastic. The definition is what we can do. Okay, so EC2 means ECC means elastic cloud. One second, I think cloud computing. Okay, so this EC2 means ECC. This is EC2 elastic cloud computing. So what it can do? So suppose if you want a Windows mission, for example, you need one Windows mission. Okay, so how we can create that mission? Suppose I need some, I just need Linux mission or any server. If you want to create any server, either Linux or Windows server, so using this EC2 service, we are going to create it. So many other options also there, I will explain that, but right now what I am trying to explain, that just I'm giving just idea about it, how we can create it. Okay, so in the EC2, just go to click on launch instances. So here it is getting 1 second. So right now what I'm trying to say, just Windows mission. Windows missions means whatever I have, this is my Windows mission, right? So this is whole, this is called, we can treat as a Windows mission, right? This mission we are going to create it in AWS. So this, if you see here, Microsoft Windows Server 2019 base. So I'm just going to create it, Windows. So I will tell you that what it is, that AMI, what it is AMI, and we can see later. Okay, I'm just so here instance type is you have to use this t2.micro only. So when you use this t2.micro, this is a free trial eligible. That means, so you don't need to pay money for it to use this one. Suppose if you go with some other t2.9 or t2.small or t2.medium, you have to pay money for it. But AWS, what it did, they given some free tier instance type. So you have to go with t2.micro because this is a free tier one. And so if you use this T2.micro, so you will get one CPU and 1 GB memory, 1 GB memory and one CPU will get it. So just for practice only we are going to use, but in the real case, so we have to use some other instance types. So we have so many instances types. We have T2.medium, T2.large. So many types we have here. Okay, so right now I'm just going with T2.micro only. This is pre-tier 1, and number of instances, we just need only one instances. I mean, instance means server. And next, add storage. So this is the hard disk one. How much we need? I just need only 20 GB. Sorry, this default 30 is required for Windows machine. That's why it is taking 30 only. Okay, suppose if you want more, so you can use 40 or something. This is a hard disk. So when you use this T2.micro, so you will get one CPU, 1 GB memory, and also 30 GB hard disk. So volume types are also there. We can discuss all those things later. Next, add storage. So add tag. I'm just adding the name. Name is Windows. And security groups also important. Security groups means these security groups. What is the usage of this security group is, suppose you have application. Suppose for example, this is Windows machine is going to create it. Once created that Windows machine, so you have to access that Windows machine, right? So then you have to open up some of the ports so that we can access it. Okay. Review and launch. What it is shared here black. Review and launch. I think. That is there. So this key pair is also very important. So I have already key pair. I'm just using this one. So while connecting to this machine or server or instance, so we need some PEM file. PEM file means that is a private key. We need that private key. Okay. PEM key is required so that we can connect it. Okay. So still instance status is pending status. So once it's running status, we can connect it. So just click on this checkbox and connect, and RDP client, I think. So just download remote desktop. Okay, so just see that how I am doing, how I am connecting to this Chopin. So this is RDP. I mean, this is a while connecting. I think if you are working in IT, you know that all these things. But while connecting to Windows machine, we need a username and password. Even for Windows machine or any machine, we need that. So username is already there. Username is administrator, but password, click on get password. Password is not available. Password wait at least 4 minutes after launching instance before trying to retrieve auto generated password. Okay, so it will take at least 4 minutes. So we can wait some more time, then we can get it. So RDP client is required, get password and okay. So key pair, as I mentioned, right, key pair is required to connect it. So that key pair we need to paste it here. Venkat, this is the key pair I need to use to connect to this one. Decrypt password. So this is the password. Okay, this is the password to connect it. Okay, now it is trying to connect it. Yes. Okay, now it is connecting to Windows machine. So if you see this, I think it will take 1 or 2 minutes. Then we can see new Windows machine here. Okay, so this is the Windows machine. This is the whole Windows machine. Okay, if you see here, so how much time it took to complete to create all Windows machine? Just 10 to 5 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes only. But suppose if you need a Windows machine, how much time it will take to create? I mean, to install OS and also so many things we need to install. Some software is required to work on. I mean, drivers, hard drivers. So many things are required, right? It will take more time. So that's why people are moving to all these cloud providers. So if you moving with, then it is very easy to use it. How much? Just 10 to 15 minutes only we are getting one Windows machine. So here whatever we want, we can do it here, right? This is a Windows machine. Any questions here? Hello?
Venna, hello.
Yes, tell. Yes, tell.
Yeah, so while creating that Windows server, you have just uploading one file from your desktop, right? So
Right.
how did you generate that file?
That file we have to, while creating the Windows machine itself, so it is just going to ask in the end of the end of the, end of the stage, we can see that option. Let me show that one. That is not a difficult. I will show you
Yeah,
that.
for example, if I do the practice, if you wanted to create the Windows machine, so we want to know that how to generate that file.
Yeah, I understood that. Let me show you that. That is not even I showed that, but I think you are not observing closely. Let me show you. Key pair is very important. That's a very good question. Without key pair we can't connect it. Key pair we can think that key pair means that is a private key. So suppose, for example, if you are not maintaining any key pair, so we are working in this organization. Suppose in this organization where we have 3 or 4 members, in our team, 4 or 5 members are there. So if you don't have key pair, other person can use that mission, right? He can do whatever he wants. Then that is not much secure, right? So that's why we need to use this PEM file or key pair something. Let me show you that. I'm not going to create it now. I'm just showing that where that option is available. So when I clicked on launch option, so we can see here, right? Select key pair. Okay. So these are all already existed in my local. So that's why it is showing you. I'm just going with existing key pair. If you click down here, create a new key pair. If you use this create a new key pair, so we can create it. You can give some name, Windows, something like that, and download key pair. and launch it. That's it. The key pair is already in our local only. So
Yeah,
launch
okay.
instance, the just launch instance, then that temp file we can upload it in while launching that Windows machine. Okay, so this is the Windows machine, right? It is
Yeah,
very clear, right?
yeah, clear.
So even we can see that what is the public IP address, private IP address, instance size, where we deployed this to architecture and total memory, everything we can see it here. So whatever in the same way, however, please be unmute.
Venkat, that security related, that security group, how we can
Yeah,
give that security group?
that we can
That
discuss later.
architecture.
No, that we can discuss later, the topic, but just trying to understanding that how we are going to create it. I'm not going to discuss. I'm right now. I'm not going to discuss each and every topic. So we can discuss later. Security, as I mentioned, right? Security groups are very important here. The thing is,
Yes.
the thing is, suppose I have application, even not application. Now I have Windows mission. If I am not opened, if I not open any port in the security groups, even I'm not able to open this Windows mission. I'm not able to connect this Windows mission. I opened that PUBG ports, RDP port. I opened that. That's why I'm able to launch this instance. Suppose if I didn't open that port in security group, then I can't. That's why we need to use the security groups concept. Any questions? So almost I think 8:35. So we can close today's session and we can start tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the way we can create it, and even we can learn deeply. But in the first day, right? Today is the first section. We can just try to understand how we can create it and what components are required to create it. Temp file is required, and security groups is required. Even resource part also required. T2.micro we choose it. Those things also required. I mean, one CPU is required, 1 GB memory is required, and also hard disk is 30 GB is default. Suppose if I edit that one, if I update it to 20 GB, something like that, then it won't work out, right? Even we can try that one. I can show you later. Okay. Let's stop the section and we can discuss later. Okay. Thank you.
Well,
Thanks,
Venkat.
Venkat.
And also one more thing is also, if you are interested to join this section, let me know that. Okay, just pay the money and we can move ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.